right, I'm here with Gus. He's got his 2004 Mazda RX8, and we're going to talk about a few things. The interior on this thing is immaculate. It's very nice for how old it is. It's really fun. It sounds good. Rotary motors are really kooky. And what is it, redline? You said 9,000?
Yeah, so this one, it's a manual, so it redlines at 9,000.
Okay.
They made an auto. This is a 6-speed manual. They made a 4-speed auto, which I don't know why anybody would want that, but made way less power, and it redlined at, I think, 75.
Nice.
So,
yeah, we got the manual for sure. And so what's some of the special maintenance crap you got to do with this?
yeah, so I mean, it's my first rotary, and I mean, that's the thing, is that it's not a piston engine, so you have to kind of know what goes with that. The biggest thing is just to make sure there's oil in it. I was telling you when we were washing it today, I store this car in the winter, so when I finally got it out again, I drove it around, redlined it all over town, and then thought to think, like, oh, I should probably check if there's oil in it, because you burn it by design.
Yeah, by design. So how much are we talking, like?
Well,
I mean,
so they say... all the Mazda techs, it's basically agreed upon in the forums that it's if you're burning about a quart per 1,000 miles, you're doing okay. Obviously, that's going to vary a little bit if you're redlining all the time, or how you're driving it. But usually, every 1,000 miles, you go through a quart.
And then, like, every time you start it, you have to drive it and redline it and like kind of.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing too.
Right?
Yeah, so it's not even really maintenance. It's just how you actually just drive the car, because you can't. If you treat this thing like a piston engine, it's going to blow up and just or seize from carbon in like 30,000 miles, and that's why people say these are unreliable. They're really not, and that's almost a meme now, saying they're reliable if you take care of them. But I mean, it's just true. Drive it. Make sure that it gets up to temperature before you shut it off, because if you shut it off cold or like anything less than operating temp, you'll flood it.
Gotcha.
And you got to take the plugs out, drain it, and that's no fun. Actually, I was telling you, I put the keys on their own little separate ring, so it feels like an event when I'm driving it now.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's what this car is meant for, is to take it out when you don't really have a destination in mind. You just want to drive. And you want to be somewhere where you can rip on it as much as possible.
Cool.
I got 2 speeding tickets in this last summer, and that was not me trying to have fun. That was me trying to keep the motor okay by redlining it. So.
Okay, so just the sound kind of got them onto you.
Yeah. So and I mean, if you're redlining 3rd or higher, you're already going like 90 miles an hour. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then you want to let it idle a lot higher, right? Because since it's a rotary, you're not keeping it at 2,200 RPM when you're cruising down the highway.
Well, yeah, and that's like the thing is, there's I mean, when you're in 6th gear, which is like your top gear on the highway at 70, you're at about 4,000 RPM.
That's cool.
Which would scare a lot of people, but that's where this motor is happy. So.
And that's like turbo cars too. So it's like you want to make sure you're in a lower. A lot of turbo people, the same thing. It's like, you might blow your motor up because you were in 5th gear when you matted it going 40 miles an hour. Low speed pre-ignition, boom.
Right.
So okay, well, sweet. Let's go do some drive-bys. The biggest thing to understand with these cars is that they're not meant to be reliable. They're meant to be fun, and rotaries were a pioneer into a new kind of motor. And so understanding how they work and how to properly maintain them will give you the sport car feel and the pleasures of driving a rotary at 9K RPM redline. The interior of the RX8 is basically a sports car. You get in and the seat's really comfortable, but not so bolstered that you're uncomfortable. The shifter is light and nice to drive. The pedals look nice and sporty. I love the steering wheel and the buttons, and the gauges are really nice, and I love watching that needle climb up to 9,000 RPM. The radio is well put together. Everything feels decent for build quality. Again, it's really comfortable. I like the doors a lot. Even the e-brake lever looks pretty nice. And you really can't hate the exterior of this car. It's just absolutely wonderful looking. Being a 2004 surprises me every time I see it because it just looks really nice. The rims, we thought about plastic dipping them black, but honestly, they don't need it. The chrome wheels look good on this black car, and it just all fits really well, and you can tell it's an enthusiast car. And honestly, when I see people who drive an RX-8, I can pretty much assume they're going to be a car enthusiast and enjoy performance and sportiness over just the comfort of, say, like an SUV or a Camry or Corolla. This car actually is an enthusiast car, and most people I know who own them, although they complain about reliability, they will all tell you this car is super enjoyable. about to do some drive-bys with the RX8. What do you think about the RX8? Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I thought you were gonna do a low blow insult before we got here. That's kind of what I was hoping for.
Eh.
You don't want to say anything mean about it?
Pretty okay.
From Critical Nate, it is okay. And then it's like a slide hammer. Ah, sweet.
That, sir, looks like piston skirt to me.
You should be able to get close enough to the garage and we can push it in.